everyone, this is Noor and welcome back to my channel. So before I go ahead and start off this video, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button to get notified every time I upload a new video. It will really mean a lot to me and it will make me very happy. Please. Sad to say this is going to be my last look for Halloween this year, and I have a little twist for you guys. In this tutorial you're going to hear me talk about a story time video that is quite spooky and quite freaky and scary. So if you guys are afraid of paranormal activity stories, you're probably not going to like this tutorial, but if you like that, then you might enjoy my story time video. It's a story time that actually did happen to me, that haunted me then, hunts me down, and forever haunts me for the rest of my life. So before I go ahead and start off this tutorial, let me just run you down about my inspiration for today's look. Now, I pulled out a whole bunch of pictures on Pinterest, but I also have to say that James Charles just filmed a tutorial with Madison Beer creating the spider legs, and it's something when I saw it, I'm like,
oh my god, like this is the look that I want to do. How crazy, like he just uploaded it and I really wanted to do it.
So I have to say that I got inspired by his video. I also got inspired by another YouTuber. Her name is Tina Halada. I really hope I'm spelling it right. I'm going to leave both videos in the info box down below. So I am giving credit obviously to the sister queen herself, James Charles, and the beautiful Tina. I'm going to indicate both of their videos down below in the info box, but I'm also going to show you some pictures that I pulled out of Pinterest right here. Give me 1 second. So I pulled out an inspiration from this one. I mean, look how beautiful this look is. This is stunning. I will leave the name of the artist down below for you guys, and then look at this stunning queen. I pulled out an inspiration from her as well. Look how gorgeous she is. So there's a lot of pictures, a lot of people that created the spider look, and I really wanted to give it a try. So I have spider legs on this eye and I have more on this eye right here, but I also added obviously my own twist, little spider bites, and it's kind of like getting infected, a little bit of pus, a little bit of fake blood, and obviously mini spiders all over. If you guys want to see how I created it and hear my story time, please keep on watching. The first thing I'm going to start off with is using a primer, and I'm using my Milk Hydro Grip primer, and I'm going to take a little bit of that and put it all over my face. So I pulled my hair out of my face. I forgot to do that, but now I did it. So I'm gonna go ahead and attempt and apply these 3D transfers. It's my first time using them. I saw them at the Halloween store and I just had to get them. So I am not sure how these work. I do have scissors here. I do have, oh, there's instructions. It says cut, lift, press, cut again, peel, and then put it on the skin, and then put water. The good thing about them is that you can apply these with water, which I'm like, you know what, let's get it. And these are actually spider bites, but I'm going to be cutting them, and I want to did I say spider bites? These are vampire bites, and I'm going to be cutting them into like small little squares to make them spider bites. So good luck to me. If I enjoy working with these, perhaps next year I'll be doing crazier looks because they had so many of these cool transfers. I'm like, oh my god, these are really interesting. So you know what? Let me try them this year, and if I like them and if I know how to work with them, then next year we'll be doing crazier looks using the other transfers that they have. So when I saw, oh, they are sticky. Okay. Ooh, okay, that's weird. So they look like that, so I think I'm not able to cut through them because they're so sticky, but they look so cool. I think I'm going to be using one of each, just to kind of have an illusion of like spider bites. Maybe I'll use one here and one here, and maybe I'll use the big one on here because I want to do like a little something here. And what's cool is that I do have baby spiders that I'm going to be sticking on my face. So first you cut and then you peel it from the thingy-majiggy, and then you stick it on here Oh, okay. So you basically peel it and then you keep this and you stick it on. Oh my god, this is a mess. So it's not perfect. So I just sticked it. Okay, makes sense. So this part is gonna be the part that you're gonna wet. And then you flip it, you put it on like this, and then you cut your shapes. Okay, makes sense. So I'm gonna be cutting them in like 4 squares, really. And hopefully these are going to be easy to cover up with makeup after. So then you remove the little part, the plastic part, and then you stick it on your body. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a cotton and I have some water and I'm just gonna wet the cotton with the water, and I am going to press this onto the Tell me what I hate is feeling that wet look. That's what she said. Okay, you guys, I'm just having fun here. Wait 30 seconds. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
A few moments later.
And then you peel it. I do need a little mirror here, you guys, because I cannot function like this. Peel this and see. Okay, no, this is cool. This is freaking cool. Okay, I like this. So yeah, that's how it looks like. It looks kind of like realistic. Whoa. Okay, cool. I am so impressed. I love this so much. More look using these water transfers. I love them. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest, see where to put them on my face, and then I'll be back to show you guys the tutorial. So I just went ahead and I cut it smaller because I noticed on the one here is that they have this kind of like a rubbery rim around them, so I just wanted to cut it so to avoid that when I'm putting the foundation. The one right here, I'm just gonna keep it like that since it's there, it doesn't really matter. But the ones on the face, I'm just cutting them a tide smaller, so like that would be easier for me. So I am putting the small little circle on here, so I'm gonna wait. Oh, this is already lifting, so I think it's good to take out. So it looks like that. Oh my god, you guys, like this is really cool. It's gonna look like a spider bite when like the blood and stuff is gonna be on it. So this is the look that we are going for today. I decided to do those spider legs on this eye, but then I'm going to be doing a little bit more on this one. So I'm going to show you guys in details how I got it done. As you guys could tell, I have my foundation, my eyebrows, everything on, everything that I'm going to be using in this video is going to be in the info box down below for you guys. Make sure that you check it out if ever you're interested in the products that I am using. The first thing you need to do is prime. So I'm going to be using my P. Louise primer. So I decided to kind of create this makeup tutorial but also share a scary story that actually did happen to me in real life. This is no joke, and it's actually a paranormal activity story that happened to me, and I can tell you guys that I wasn't alone. I was with my mom when this happened. I can tell you I'm somewhat a believer. So let's go ahead and share this story with you guys. So I'm sorry if I'm not looking at you. I'm looking down in the mirror while doing my eye. I really hope you guys don't mind that. But this is a story that happened, I would say, a few years back when we moved back to Canada. If you guys don't know, I am born in Canada but raised in Saudi Arabia, I would say my young years, and then when I was a teenager I kind of grew up here in Canada. So I would have to say that my most remembered times was here in Canada. So needless to say, we were new here in Canada and my dad was still working overseas, and he had co-signed a very close family friend of ours to sign some taxes papers. My father kind of had an agreement with the government since he's away. I don't know how he did it, don't ask me, and don't even ask me about the details because I don't know. I remember that day I was with my mom, and I do remember also that my mom had a rental car, a replacement rental car, and it was kind of like a sports car. It was like 2 doors and my mom was enjoying it. She thought that she was really cool. I'm not gonna lie, we thought we were cool as well. Now my father's friend, he lived next to a cemetery, and it was kind of freaky, and it wasn't actually far away from our house either, but he lived in a cemetery, and the way that it was made, it was kind of weird, because the minute you enter the cemetery, I'm gonna draw it for you guys so you guys could understand. I am not sure how I'm going to be doing this tutorial and talking at the same time. I've never kind of done this because I'm so concentrated, but I will resume my look here. But before I do that, I really want to explain how the cemetery and the streets are so you guys could kind of have a better idea. So basically, I don't know if you guys could see my little drawing here. So this is like the main street. So you entered right here and the cemetery is right there, and these are the gates. And then you kind of have a one-way or two-way road. This is kind of going that way and this is going that way. I just drew the arrow so you guys could have an idea. These are houses along the street, and then you have the cemetery kind of like the head of the street. So my mom and I, we drove down this road, and right here immediately when she was kind of like turning, I spotted a little figure at the door by the gate of the cemetery. So I spotted somebody standing there, and this is not a joke, you guys. This is true story that it did happen to me, and if my mom was here, she would approve, and she would definitely tell you guys that I did see something that day. So I spotted a little figure here. It kind of looked like a little boy. At the first glance that I saw, I'm like, okay, no, like, you know, at first you kind of imagine it because, you know, it was dark and, you know, there's a cemetery. So you kind of like imagine things that you didn't really expect to see. And I kind of said to myself, hey, Noor, like, you know, your brain is playing games on you. This is not true. You didn't see anything. So by that time when I spotted that little boy, I kind of didn't say anything because I didn't want to freak my mom out, to be honest. So I kind of let it be and I let it go. But then when we were going along that road here and then kind of make a U-turn to park at our friend's house. So while she went down to make a U-turn and she's doing the U-turn, I spotted that little boy now that he is in the middle of the street. He's no longer at the gate, but he is in the middle of the street, and I spotted him just standing there, literally. I can kind of remember what this little boy was wearing, but you know, like a typical little boy, he was wearing this jeans short with like a red top, and he had a cap on. I don't really remember what color was the cap, and I don't really remember what color was his little sneakers. But at that time when I spotted that little boy in the middle of the street, that's where I kind of freaked out, and I kind of stopped my mom like, oh my god, did you see that little boy? She looked at me, her face was literally yellow. She was in shock. She didn't know what was going on. She thought that I was literally lying to her. But then she kind of told me, I kind of spotted a little figure at the gate of the cemetery when we drove in. And I looked at her and my mouth dropped because I thought, you know, I was like the only one who's experimenting this. I thought that, you know, it's not true. And then when I realized that my mom kind of spotted something there as well, that's when it kind of freaked me out a little bit more. So my heart literally started beating so fast. But she said, she's like, I didn't spot that little boy in the middle of the street when we did the U-turn. And while we were preparing ourselves to leave the car, and I opened the door, my mom opened the door, and at the same time I heard footsteps. I heard like running footsteps and a little kids laughing, you know, like I heard a little laughter, and it kind of sounded like ha ha ha, you know, like, you know, just a little boy laughing. Heard like little footsteps of like something like just past the car, and it was running and it was laughing. And I told my mom like, oh my god, did you hear that? She was like, I didn't hear it, but I felt like a shadow pass. So that freaked us out way more than spotting that little figure at the gate in the middle of the street. And now we hear him and we kind of felt his appearance somehow. From what I can tell you guys, I forgot to mention this, is that when this happened and the time that this happened, I do remember it was around this time, kind of like the fall, October. And around this time, the sun kind of sets quite early. So when it's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it's quite dark outside. So when we went to our friend's house, we didn't go that late. It was around maybe 5:36. And you know, you can tell like nobody was on the street. It was quite dark. Everybody was in their house. And at that time, you can kind of assume that there isn't any kids out there playing whatsoever. You know, it's kind of like freaky. And kids are not out in the pitch dark, you know, just, you know, hanging out at the cemetery door or anything like that. When we walked into our friend's house, we were doing, you know, our paper, hanging out with them, you know, having coffee and all of that. I don't want to say embarrassed, but I was kind of scared to ask our friends if anything happened around their area. Let me just set under my eye because I don't want to have fallout. And then I got the courage to kind of ask and tell them what we experienced while we were, you know, entering their house and, you know, entering their street. And my mom, she's like, no, you know, like, forget about it, don't ask. But then my mom was really intrigued and she kind of joined me on the conversation. So I told him, I'm like, I just want to ask you a little question. I spotted a little figure at the gate of the cemetery, but then we kind of like saw him again, and coming in here we heard running and laughing, and our friend kind of looked at us. He was kind of like scared at one point that we actually opened that conversation and spoke about the appearance of the little kid. So he looked at us and he's like, yes, and you guys are not the only one who saw him or felt his appearance there. So I was in shock. Like, my jaw dropped. I was really scared. I started shaking because I was just terrified. We just couldn't like imagine that, you know, whatever we saw was true. You know, something did happen on that street. So I had the courage. Something like that kind of really intrigues me, and I feel like, you know, like I want to ask, I want to know what happened. And I told him, I'm like, but what happened? Then he told us, no, that other people felt the same appearance. A lot of people saw this little kid. He then mentioned that he used to live on that street. His parents used to live on that street. They're no longer there. But he was playing around and he got hit by a car. He was so badly hit that this little kid passed away. Now, around the age, when I saw him, he looked like he was 4 to 5 years old, you know, like a little kid just playing outside with his parents and whatever. And something happened and he got hit by a car and he ended up passing away from the accident. A lot of people spot him around, you know, the time or around the day that he got hit, or, you know, just in general, just wandering around that street. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, that whatever that we saw was true and it's not like our imagination. And he started telling us that, you know, he got hit by a car and he's buried in that cemetery because, you know, it was the closest to their house. And, you know, the parents couldn't like live with the thought that their kid passed away on that street and he's buried in that cemetery, so they kind of decided to move. It must have been so hard. It's so sad. And, you know, needless to say that yes, I did see a ghost, and it was a little boy, and I didn't bother asking his name, to be honest. I just didn't want to get freaked out more than I was, and I kind of just let it go. But then I was praying so badly that if we left the house, please do not let us hear or see or anything like that of the kid. And luckily we didn't. We don't know how we got into the car and we drove out of the neighborhood so fast. I just don't remember how we did that so fast. But needless to say, my mom and I had a crazy, scary paranormal activity or paranormal experience in our life, and it's something that we kind of talk about till this day. We just, you know, we can't believe that this actually happened. You know, it's freaky because you never think that it would actually happen to you, or you never would actually think that, you know, that you believe in these things. But I can tell you guys, after my experience, I do believe in spiritual life, ghosts and stuff like that. I kind of do believe in it after experiencing it with my mom. Okay, so the smoky eye is done. This is kind of like one of my favorite looks to do, to be honest, and it's been a while that I haven't done a smoky eye look here on my channel. There you have it. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a white pencil. I'm using Fascinating from MAC, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start drawing in lines, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and randomly draw my lines. So you want to make sure that the legs are somewhat hugging your face. So you kind of want to draw them in a way that, you know, they're kind of like climbing out and hugging your face, if that makes any sense. So I'm not going to add too much because I don't want to overwhelm this look, because I have other intentions to do on my face. I'm gonna be taking my Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper. I love this pencil. You do need something with a filled tip to make it much easier for you. So now what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to just go over the white lines with the black and kind of like start drawing lines to it. So the spider legs kind of have 3 sections, so you kind of want to start right here, and then you kind of have the corners, or how you call it. I'm having literally a brain fart right now. I can't really put my words together, but you kind of need to thicken it out and then kind of thin it out, and yes. So I'm gonna do it here so you guys could have a better idea of what I am trying to explain. So I'm gonna go ahead and start from here, bring it down, and then when it comes to the eyebrows, I'm just going to flatten it and press it down. Kind of like that. And then you just move on to the second one and you kind of do the same thing. So you kind of create like little thick parts, little bubbly parts, and then some thin parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the rest. So since you have them now all outlined, yes, they are kind of free spaced right now. They're not completely filled. Then you're gonna take your liner and you're gonna go ahead and start filling them in. But you can also leave some empty spots because, you know, you're gonna apply the white there. But when it comes to the inner part, you wanna make sure that they are fully black. So now I'm just going to take my white liner from NYX. This is just a white liquid liner. And I'm going to start putting some white lines. This is what's going to bring the illusion of the spiders, that they are kind of like standing out other than the shadow. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the shadowing. I'm using the Fetish palette from Kat Von D, the one I used to create the smoky eye. And then I'm going to start doing the shadows. So I'm just gonna go ahead and follow along. I'm taking kind of like a grayish color. This one right here, and this one is called S and M. So I'm going to run it along to the leg. You wanna make sure that it is joining the tip of the spider, so you're gonna have that illusion of the shadow. You want to start it off from the eye, from like the smoky part. You kind of want to follow the shape of the leg. You kind of want to follow the shape of the leg. This is going to give it that illusion of it crawling out of your face. I'm going to be taking the black from the same palette and I'm going to make the shadows darker from the roots, and I'm just going to run a little bit of black on like the little curves right here, and this is going to give that 3D effect that we want for this look. And there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and do the lower lash line. I'm taking a black pencil. This is a black liner from MAC. This is the Cold Power in Feline, and I'm going to run Feline in the waterline, all over the waterline. And I'm also going to tight line my eye. Tight lining is when you apply the black liner on the waterline of your upper lash line. And it's the hardest thing ever. And I'm just going to run this pencil on the lower lash line. I'm going to be taking the same little smudger that I used to create the shadows, and I'm going to run over and blend out that pencil. I'm going to be taking the black from the palette. I'm not going to add too much on it, and I'm just going to run it along that pencil. I'm going to be taking a fluffy brush, and I'm taking kind of like a mauvey pink color, and it's called Safe Word. This is how Safe Word looks like. Now I'm going to be taking this kind of like a burgundy red color, and this one is called Bondage, and I am taking it with the same brush, and I am going to run it along the lower lash line and blending it out with Safe Word and the black color. The black color is called Rubber. I'm going to go ahead and apply the glitter on my eye. I'm going to be using my NYX. This is the glitter primer. So I'm taking a little bit in the back of my hand here. Put that along the lid area. And the glitter that I am using, it's from that little stack, and this is the glitter. It's kind of like a black bluish glitter. I think it looks really good with this look. So I'm taking that. It comes in a stack like this. Again, I don't remember where I got these glitter. I am so sorry, but if you do want to use glitter, make sure that it is cosmetic glitter and that it is safe to use around the eye area. Take a napkin. I'm gonna drop it under my eye like that so I can catch the fallout, and I'm just gonna grab that glitter and pack it on the lid. Now this is optional. You can leave the look matte if you want to, or you can also add glitter. Since this is a spider queen, then why not dazzle her up a little bit? What I decided to do, but feel free to do anything you want. You can also add a different color if you want, but you know, the illusion of the legs coming out of the shadows, I think black is the coolest. I'm just gonna take my tattoo liner again, and I am going to just stretch out the legs. For the inner corners, I'm using a silver and a burgundy shimmer from the same palette again, and this is the silver shade and the burgundy shimmery one is here. So the silver is called Cuffs and the shimmery burgundy is called Dominatrix. So I'm taking the silver first with a small little brush, and I am applying that into the inner corners. Now I'm taking the shimmery burgundy Dominatrix and putting it right on top. I'm gonna go ahead and apply lashes and contacts, and the lashes I'm using are these ones right here. These are from MFMA, and these are the bold. Sorry, these are the glam, not the bold, and they come in a pack of 5, and this is the box. So this is the Pro Lash Glam. I'm gonna leave the link down below for you guys if you guys are interested. I have a coupon LBBYND for 10% off your purchase. You can also get the lash glue from there as well. And for the contacts, I'm gonna be using these contacts right here. These are the blackout. They're just all black. It makes the eye look a little bit bigger too. And I'll be back to finish up the look with you guys. Alrighty, so I went ahead and I fixed up the first bite and I sticked on 2 spiders on my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do that to this one right here. So first of all, you do need a reddish burgundy kind of a color. So I'm using again the Fetish palette, and I'm taking Bondage from the palette. I'm just gonna go ahead and run it all over. So you want to make sure that it is somewhat getting infected. It is red, it is itchy, it is kind of like a mosquito bite. If you guys think about a mosquito bite, you kind of want it to look like that. Then I'm going to be taking the colors that I mixed here. So for this one, I mixed red and black. here I mixed blue and yellow, and then I have some yellow. And yes, I do have a clear gloss in here that I kind of mixed in the shades to kind of create a pussy kind of look. And I went ahead and I used this palette right here. This is from NYX, and this is the SFX Cream Colour palette. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and take the mixture right here. I'm actually going to take a little bit of the red from the palette, and I'm going to run it along the bite. I'm going to be taking the darker mixture, and I'm going to darken it up a little bit. Now I'm going to take some black, and I'm going to fill in that hole. And I'm going to take some coagulated blood. This is from Mayron. I'm going to fill that hole up with the blood. Now I have hair here. This is quite sticky, so you want to make sure that your hair is away. And I'm going to drag the blood down, and I'm also going to randomly place it and then splatter it with my fingers. And this is going to kind of hide the borders of this I don't want to call them prosthetics, but you know, like that. So it's gonna give you the illusion of it like bleeding and infected. And then I mixed in the green and the yellow, so I'm just gonna grab a little bit of green, mix it into the clear gloss to have it kind of like a pus look. And I'm also gonna be taking yellow as well, mixing it together. You wanna have it look like it's infected. And I'm going to add this along. I'm using these mini spiders. I didn't think that they're going to look that awesome, so I'm just going to add some lash glue on them and stick them on my face. So I'm adding some on the legs and on the body. You can go ahead and use liquid latex or spirit gum to stick them down, but I am just using lash glue and it works as good as the spirit gum or the latex. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the one that's on my chest, but in the meantime I'm gonna go ahead and do the lips with you guys. So I am looking at a picture here that really inspired me to do the lips like that, and I think it's something different. I'm gonna take the shimmery burgundy shade from the Fetish palette from Kat Von D, Dominatrix. And I'm just going to blend it along. And then once this is done, I'm going to run a black lipstick in the middle of the lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be back to show you guys the finished look. This is the finished look. Finally. So I went ahead and I added up some veins, and I added rhinestones, a little bit of rhinestones on the spiders, just a tiny bit. I'm going to show you here. I also added spiders on my finger. So I added a rhinestone on the spider heads. So I did the same thing all over the spiders. I did also some veining as if like it's getting infected, and I also went ahead and I added mini rhinestones in the corners of my eye as well. So just to say that I really enjoyed this look, and I'm so happy to have this look as my last look for Halloween. If you guys are doing anything special for Halloween, please stay safe, please be vigilant, please make sure that you are, you know, healthy, safe, clean, wash your hands. And if you're going trick-or-treating with your kids, make sure that you kind of disinfect everything. At the moment we are on our second lockdown, and it is getting quite serious and quite scary, so please you guys stay safe. I'm just saying that because I care about you and love you all. If you decide to create any of the looks that I created this year for Halloween, please tag me on my social media down below. You have my Instagram, you have my Facebook, and you have TikTok at the moment as well. I'm gonna leave all my links in the info box down below for you guys. You can go ahead and check me out and follow me if you like. And also, if you like this video, please throw me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and also enjoyed my story time. It is freaky. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me in the comments down below if you experience any paranormal activities, whether it's you or somebody else. Let me know your stories. I love stories like that, and I would love to read them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.